How we doing, y'all? How we doing? It's Wholesomebrent. If you didn't know, now you know. Look, man, I got a special treat for you guys today. Now you see by the title. Now I'm pushing this. I'm pushing this narrative, but I'm not trying to like nudge you into anything. You know, I'm just trying to give you some ideas, some inspiration, some motivation, some game, and new ways to look at it. Now look, for me, these are things that keep me going and keep me elevated when it comes to this whole plant-based vegan thing, right? Staying creative and finding your outlet. For me, I think it's the food. As far as like, okay, like I find a lot of connection with the expression there. You know, I get to pick and choose the things that I eat on an everyday basis, and that's a privileged position, I'm gonna say that. So I'm thankful. If you have the resources, you have the access to these type of things, which I'm sure you do, because it all starts in your head. It all starts with the idea. It all starts with how you want to go about your lifestyle. Now these are just three suggestions. Alright? 3 suggestions. But they're all just points as far as like, not even points, steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. As far as like the idea. We already touched on it briefly. But it starts with the idea. In this clip right here I'm gonna show you, this is where we got to play with it a little bit. What we're doing right now, this is something because I had messed up and I wanted to redeem myself the other day, making a veggie burger. Like I said, we're not using veggie and none of that no more. We just gonna say burger. All the other stuff, chicken, shrimp, that's where we can, you know, reiterate the whole, you know, pronunciation and kind of like this false disclaimer. At the end of the day, a burger is a burger. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to put this burger together using these fine ingredients right here. Black beans, we got chickpeas, we got some sauteed onions, bell peppers, mushroom, garlic, barbecue sauce. I have this idea in my head about the concept of like, man, I grew up eating burgers like crazy. Now I know, look a little crazy right now with the white stuff on top, but it's just flour. Just fast food in general. Like, I didn't have that. My relationship with food was just more so about like, how can I sustain myself? Because I was skateboarding a lot, I was outside a lot, so I didn't care about what I was necessarily eating on a healthier aspect. It was just more so about refueling. But slowly I started diving a little bit deeper in. I was getting serious with the skateboarding as far as like what can make me feel like better, where I'm not like burnt out. And I got addicted to these acai bowls, and when I first got into this whole vegan thing, that's all I was eating. I was eating acai bowls and I was strictly on some fruit. Shout out to Aris Lathon. I was strictly eating fruits. I realized, okay, like this isn't sustainable. I need more fuel. And being on a plant-based vegan diet, you need to supplement a lot of your food through the calories. Like your caloric intake needs to increase. It doesn't mean you have to stuff yourself. Vegetables and like greens and like that and stuff like that is not gonna be enough to get you fueled through the day. You're gonna be pretty worn out if you don't do it the right way. Especially for like an athlete or anybody that's like active or fit, you're gonna have to refuel on the constant. So that means you're gonna have to supplement, and you're gonna have to do what you have to do in order to match your caloric intake and increase it. You want to increase it as much as possible. But back to the details as far as the concept, the idea, and how you can get more creative with like your vegan recipes and getting more creative in the kitchen. So we got some extra veggies over here in the corner, and we got the burger layered up with some barbecue sauce, as you see dripping, tomatoes, some sliced avocados, cilantro. Just the idea. It started with an idea, I'm gonna say that. So it starts with your idea. Going vegan, being vegan, you don't eat meat or anything like that, right? A lot of the stuff you try to replace or substitute. And for me, like, if I'm gonna eat chicken, I'm gonna eat chicken. I don't need to play with it where all this, what I know some people or some restaurants are talking about, oh, this is vegan chicken. It's not chicken, but I get it. It's the idea, it's innovation, whatever. For me, a burger is just a patty. A burger is made up of some substance put together in order to, you know, be placed between 2 buns. And a burger is a burger. What I did was recreate that through things that I enjoy, things that I eat, whole foods. You'd be surprised what you can do on a vegan plant-based diet. Let me tell you that. Bruh, tell me these don't look like regular burgers. See, I get excited about this type of stuff. Let me stop. Alright guys, so you see the end result. We got the veggies over here, burger patties we just finished up with, and we got some extra veggies in the corner over there. This clip basically just displayed all of that in one creation. Man, it's fun. I just have a lot of fun with this. As an athlete, I think that's my main push. Doing what I can to sustain and maintain and be fueled with the best foods and energy as possible. That's my main thing. So it starts with your idea. The second thing is planning. You want to plan your meals out. On a vegan plant-based diet, a lot of the times you're planning ahead, trying to figure out what you're gonna eat. Early on, it was a lot of that. Think about it, like, and most people, they don't have to do that because their access to food is in abundance. You know, I'm navigating in a different way. I have to be a little bit more intentional. You have to be a little bit more intentional. I have to be more cautious about like how I navigate through the everyday choices, because you never know. Nowadays, it's an abundance. There's so many different vegan options, but you gotta be careful. You gotta know what you are consuming. For the most part, I'm eating most of my food. I know where it's coming from because I'm making 90% of it. But it didn't always start like this. I had to build, it was the conditioning. As far as like how I related to my training, I wasn't always training like crazy. I had to condition myself, build up to it. Before we go all in a tangent again, it starts with the idea, it starts with planning. How can you be as creative and innovative as possible with the foods that you eat? I suggest that you focus on eating a more whole food based diet. And what I mean by that is you can be vegan, plant-based, whatever, and still be unhealthy and still be, you know, making some bad choices. Not necessarily bad, but the wrong choices where, come on man, be a little bit more cautious, be a little bit more aware. You don't know what you don't know. That's why I'm trying to push this narrative as far as like, be mindful. Think about like the things that you want to do. As far as with this strictly, if we're talking about the vegan plant-based, how do you want to go about it? Because a lot of people go into this whole phase trend for like some time and then they fizzle off and say, oh, it wasn't for me. I mean, for me, I made a pivot 360 like that, made the choice. I'm not eating meat no more, and I haven't ate meat in like the last 4 years. 3 points here: idea, the plan, and the third one is execution. How do you want to execute? How can we make time? Because at the end of the day, a lot of people say, I don't have the time. You have to make the time. You have to create the time to do this type of stuff. I may work the whole day, come home, still make the time to make me something to eat. Because I'm so conditioned at this point where it's just like, I refuse to be, not necessarily vulnerable, but I refuse to just, I guess, be lazy to the point where it's just like, and I don't want to say lazy, but that's the word that just comes up, where I have food at home, I'm gonna eat at home. Unless it's like, you know, I'm eating out with the homies, or, you know, going on a date, whatever. That's different. I'm talking about like the choices that you make with this whole vegan stuff. Just execute and make it a habit. Once a week, maybe you may try this out. Like, I'm gonna do vegan for this week. I'm gonna try this vegan thing for 1 week, or maybe 1 day out the week. You plan, how can we do this, what we can do. Start planning ahead of time. Starts with the idea. Even invite some homies over, especially if you're like a cook or whatever. Get creative in the kitchen. So plan ahead, figure out what you got, what you're gonna put together, and then execute on it. And continue to build on top of that. My whole push is just to make healthier choices. I'm not saying, oh, vegan, oh yeah, let me put a rainbow around here and stuff like that. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, just be more cautious, be more conscious, and be aware and intentional about how you are choosing the food, like the foods that you're choosing each and every day to consume. And we're talking about food as far as consumption. And anything else that's different. You may be asking, what are you talking about? Like, I'm talking about like the company you keep, TV that you walk, that you wash, whatever, that's consumption too. But we're talking about food and making better health choices. I feel like a lot of people feel guilty when we talk about this type of stuff. I may mention I'm vegan and somebody says, oh, I had a veggie burger the other day. It's like, I don't care. It's not even about that. It's more about like the healthier choices. You could be eating salmon and your greens and potatoes and all of that, and I'm happy for you because you're being intentional and your whole point is to eat healthy. That's the connection that I'm more geared to. I'm not the one to bash you talking about you need to stop eating this, you need to stop eating meat, whatever. I'm more so about like, all right, let's push a new narrative as far as like being more health conscious and stuff like that. Because I'm telling you, a lot of us take all of this, moving around, all of this, moving your neck around, moving your body, stretching, doing all of this, being able to we take that for granted. And the moment something happens where it prevents us from fully functioning or being as active, man, we would trade it all to get it back. So what I'm saying is make the choice now so you don't have to regret it later. Because as I get older, I feel like I'm only getting better. I'm not sitting here talking about, oh, I'm getting old. Oh, I'm getting old. That's how people talk about. I'm old now. No, you're not. You older. You're not old. You could be 60 years old talking about, oh, I'm old. No. It's all about how you carry yourself, and it's all about the energy that you radiate within. And if you good with you good with everybody else. That's another story though. But it's Wholesomebrent. You know these 3 concepts, these ideas, these points. Stick to it. Put it together. Put a plan of action and execute on it. It starts with the idea, man. I hope I touched on some things that you can relate to, and I hope I didn't go in circles. Maybe I did, but at the end of the day, thank you for sticking with me through the end of the video. Give this video a thumbs up. It's Wholesomebrent. If you didn't know, now you know. Make sure you subscribe, y'all. You guys take care. Peace.